Alright everyone, what's going on? It's currently very late, and I'm going to be going over the fit thesis. So what the fit thesis states is that as the economy changes and as societies modernize, industrialize, and urbanize, that the family structures will change as well to fit the needs of the society that's changing. Um, so you have two sides of the spectrum. You have sociologists that believe that pre-industrial societies were mainly nuclear, and you have another side of the spectrum which sociologists believe were mainly extended. So for the nuclear-based, everything is going to be in blue, okay? And you have three main sociologists, and that's going to be Finch, Carlin, and Laslett. So what Finch said was that the pre-industrial society was mainly nuclear families, based upon the fact that there's no evidence that suggests that there's an elderly reliance on once the elderly retire, that there's no reliance on their kin, basically. So that's what Finch said. And then Carlin states that most households were nuclear, based upon the fact that the average life expectancy was a lot shorter than it is nowadays. It was around 35 to 40 years old. And then evidence suggests that the elders that retired lived in separate households rather than living in the households of their kin. And what Laslett said, that there's lower income households, which results in nuclear-based family based on the lack of space. So that's just basically saying that the working class households, which made up a majority of the society because the wealthy were the minority. That's just saying that since the working class couldn't afford those households that had a bunch of space, that the wealthy class mainly had the servants living within, so you have those extended family households. For nuclear is pretty easy. You have two functionalists, Parsons and Goode. These are going to be sociologists that you must memorize for functionalist side. You have the pre-industrial society, and what Parsons and Goode said, that pre-industrial society is kinship-based. So grandparents are largely reliant on their grandchildren. Oh yeah, Parsons and Goode argue that the extended family is the norm in pre-industrial societies. So it's multifunctional. This means that it carries out more than two of the functions that contemporary societies hold today, which is stabilization and socialization. Yeah, so, and then Parsons and Goode said that the family structure of the extended family is economically productive. And this is based on a labor-intensive agricultural society, where the more people you have, the better, because they can produce more. And then they argue that the elderly do rely on kin. And later we'll see that evidence from Laslett and Anderson undermine this heavily in the postulated universality, because that relates to the fit thesis.